All right, guys, welcome back to the 6th episode of the Unbroken Athletic Podcast. In this episode, we're talking about complacency versus greatness and steps that you can take so that you're not living a mediocre life. Things that you can do inside and outside the gym. So here we are with Coach Vince, Coach Jeremy, and Coach Santa. And go.
All right, guys, welcome to the Unbroken Athletic Podcast, number 6. I'm Vince, here with Jeremy and Shanna.
Yay.
So today we're going to be talking about complacency versus greatness.
Ooh. Drop the mic.
Just drop it right there. I think we're good. So I think we're going to do a 20-minute AMRAP. And so we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, yeah, all right.
Good thing we left this up to you.
Yeah, here we go. Silent but deadly, but making me speak.
Now he's just silent but sweaty.
Oh, man. All right, so, Shanna, I think you had a great story that you wanted to kind of start us off with.
Oh, you're going to make me go right
into
my story?
Right into the story.
Okay, I'll play. So Saturday, I was hurting because I didn't take any rest days last week. And so it's 0, I know. But I did 2 days that were like low intense cardio, but still it was 0 rest days. And so Saturday was the end. That was 7 days in a row. And I was like, I'm just going to take it easy. And it was 5 rounds. And it was, what was it? Wall balls, rowing, pull-ups, and double unders.
That was a brutal workout.
I know, it was brutal, but on paper, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
well, I'm just going to take this.
Increasing row.
Increasing
and
row.
decreasing rest per round.
So going into that workout, my mindset was, which I never have this mindset, but my mindset was just move your body, just, 60% it, and keep moving and work through the soreness so that tomorrow we take an actual rest day and then recover. And so about round 4, I just had this it was clarity that so many people, I looked like I was getting a good workout. Like I was dripping sweat. I mean, I was breathing hard kind of. But as soon as it got to my pain threshold.
I knew she wasn't pushing it because she kept on asking me questions. And I was like, not pertaining to the workout per se, but there was an intro session coming in. She was like, what's that lady's name that's coming in for the intro? And I'm dying. And she's like, can you remember? I'm like, stop asking me questions. And then I was like, she is not pushing this workout.
I forgot that other people were working out. So my point was that I had this clarity during that workout. I was like, oh my gosh, so many people just stay right there. So as soon as the wall ball started getting uncomfortable, I would just let it drop. It was 5, I'm like, all right, yep, letting it drop. It's getting too hard. I'm having to breathe through my mouth now instead of just through my nose. As soon as the pull-ups started getting to that threshold where it hurt, to hold on, I was like, yep, done. Can't do anymore. But I knew, because I've done, max effort pull-ups, I know that I can do more than 4 in a row. However, if I've never pushed that threshold, you would never know what you could actually do. And I was so I'm sitting there on the rower and I'm pulling at 3-minute pace for a 500. Super just chill out, talking to Jeremy.
I'm ignoring her at this moment.
And I'm thinking so many people come in here and they look like they're working out. I'm not talking about anybody specifically, so don't send me emails or text messages or ask me who I'm talking about. But I'm talking about myself too, because I've done this.
You were doing it then.
I was doing it then, right. And I thought, wow, this workout's so fun. I was having a great time. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I was so comfortable. And I thought so many people, this is how they treat their fitness, how they treat their goals, how they treat their career, how they treat their parenting, how they treat their marriage. They just stay in that comfort zone where as soon as it starts getting a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit oh, this hurts, I can't do this, that they just, go back to where it was safe. And If I would have stayed there, like if for the last 10 years I just stayed in that comfort zone with my fitness level, then I would not be where I am today. And my fitness level, number one, I mean, that's pretty obvious. It wouldn't get better. Like, you just don't get better. That thing about, I hate this meme that says, just don't quit. You know, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. That's a lie. You can't just keep showing up and expect to get better. You actually have to, like, show up and put in more effort than what is beyond your comfort zone. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
It's
like,
the next step,
right?
I mean, it would be almost like having that, like we were talking about last week, that 300-pound person, right? Well, yeah, that saying is perfectly fine for them, because you're talking about, you know, somebody who's never really gone to the gym. So just keep going, you know, just keep going in, get your walk in, your little workout, and then come out. But once you start getting to a point where you're plateauing, or, you know, you just know that, hey, I can push myself more, like, that's when I would agree that saying doesn't matter anymore, and you have to just keep going, as in pushing that threshold just a little bit more and a little bit more each time.
Yeah, well, I think, because that is step one, don't quit, right? Because if you quit, then you're obviously not going to win. It's step one. But that should be a given. You know, talking about greatness, right, versus complacency, nothing ever great happened just by showing up. Like, and that's, like, I'm not the best athlete in the world. I'm not, you know, an amazing, incredible athlete. But at the same time, I never just showed. That was, like, one time in, I don't even know any time that I've ever done it like that. You know, where I was like, just show up and work, maybe at 5:30 in the morning. That's why I don't work out at 5:30 in the morning. Because
I don't think you've ever been to a 5:30 workout.
Yeah, one time.
When I was like 20.
And I'm like, good job, Shanna. You woke up and you're here. You know, like, that's what. So I think just because where you think your limits are always a lie. And anything you do, I don't care what you say. And you never know if you're not willing to push past that point of pain. It's like a pain threshold. And you don't want to push, like, there's so many things in my life that I can, like, everything great that I've ever done in my life has come from doing something I thought I couldn't do, period. Like, every single thing. And so I think so many people, I think the reason, I'll pass it on to you because you want to say something. Hold on to that thought. I think so many people don't do it because, number one, they don't want to be seen at the bottom or seen at failure. You know, they're like, what if I push this workout too hard? And I'm always going to talk about workouts that we're doing right now. But what if I push this workout too hard and I redline and I can't finish it? You know, I got to save up some in the tank. I gotta make it look like it hurts a little bit more. You know, I'm gonna make the noises and I'm gonna put the face on like this is the worst thing I've ever done. But really, I know deep down this isn't. I mean, I kind of wanted to do that actually when we were working out because you guys were all like in pain in your zone. I was like, oh, I could like, because I'm dripping sweat, I'm breathing heavy. I could just be like, oh, it's so hard, and you would never know, but I would know, you know. So I think people know that deep down, they know that. So I think number one, they don't want to be like ousted. They don't want people to know. You know, if you say, oh, that was just 60%, you know, that was, you know, whatever. You don't have to deal with the pain of you giving it your best and actually not being good enough. I think people are scared of that, of being exposed. So they hide behind this, like, comfort zone. And also because you don't know. The fear of the unknown is, like, is a stronger pull than what the reward is, you know. So people stay in this, you know, complacent state of mind. There's a fly in here.
Attacked by a fly in the booth.
What were you going to say?
I totally forgot. Fly distracted me.
Fly.
Shiny things. No. I think it comes from, and here's the biggest thing that I feel with all of that is people say, well, I tried. You know, I tried to be great. I tried that non-complacency thing, and the problem is it's not just a one-time event. It's not. It's accumulation of things that went horribly wrong all the time for a very long time, and continuing to, run your head up against the wall until finally the wall falls down is kind of the thing that, you kind of have to have that, what is that, reoccurring amnesia. Like you can't, the amnesia of success is you cannot remember like all of your failures because they'll just hold you back or whatever. I just made that up.
That's good.
That's a good one, isn't it? Because, there's so many times that, that doubt or that feeling will hold you back from becoming more than you already are. And that's the whole name of the game. That's why we got into coaching. That's why we got into training clients. That's why we got into training people, is because we see more potential than they do. And the problem and the most frustrating thing of my job, and you guys as well, is, when people give up too soon. Mm-hmm. They're not willing to put the effort in, and then they blame nuances. And then they have these pity parties with other people, and then they commiserate together. It's that misery loves company, and it's a very true thing. Is, think about how many times, we can even go back to our own experiences, like double unders. Okay, how many times have you done double unders? Like when you were first learning, how much it sucked. It was the worst thing ever. Like there's nothing appealing to me to learn how to do 100 whip yourself with a rope. It is no way, shape, or form a double under. Most times didn't even resemble a single under. You will be bleeding from the knuckles, the wrists, the forearms, the back of the arm, the back of the leg, all that stuff. I sat in the back corner of my CrossFit gym for months trying to learn double unders. But the problem is I did it every single day, regardless of how many times I beat myself. Like literally sat there in the back of the corner before and after classes until I got it. And then when I got it, it was awesome for like a month, and then it went away. And you're like, what the hell? I just got these and now they're gone. Because I even remember clearly it was a double under deadlift workout when I got them. And it was during the workout when I got it, not during my practice. But all that practice of consistently going after it, not being complacent with the idea that, I'm just not good enough. My coach isn't good enough. Everybody else here isn't good enough either. They can't do their double unders either. It didn't fall into that complacency, and instead just came up with a plan. And that's really all this is there's a certain aspect between this, CrossFit and too many people think that their technique has to be on point for their strength to grow, and it's not always necessarily the case, because your technique can be complete crap and you can get very strong. Mm-hmm. You've become complacent in your sucky
way to save.
You've become complacent in your sucky technique that you're okay with it, and you're just going to get stronger this way. The problem is you're going to hit a plateau. But controversially, on the same time, if you spend too much time perfecting your technique, you're never going to get strong. And so you've become complacent in this idea that, I'm never going to get strong because my technique is never going to be good. The problem in between the two of those is, always learning more with never being complacent in your technique, whether it's good or bad. Or it's always going to be a process, but you also have to be willing to, like Shanna said, you have to be willing to fail with crappy technique, but you also have to be willing to say my technique sucks and I need to take a back seat for my strength for a while. And so there's this very big fine line between complacency and struggle and failure and gratefulness and like greatness or whatever, and I completely lost my train of thought. I'm just trying to save it.
I think what you're kind of getting at, and this is kind of what I was starting to think about, was like we've talked about, especially like with my training, where I sometimes beat myself up because can't I'm not as good in a workout, or I feel like I should be able to do a certain movement or something, and you come back to me and you're like, you need to remember that you're practicing right now. You're not necessarily competing, and that fine line between practice and compete and complacency, that fits in between there. Because sure, you could say, hey, today I'm going to practice, and that means that I'm only going to go 50% in the workout. Well, okay, are you really practicing, or is it, okay, I'm going to go super hard on this one portion of the workout that I'm really weak at, and the other portions I'm still going to give it something, but I really want to focus on that one specific piece.
Yeah, and I think it's a long-term picture. It can't be something that's just a randomized thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not it as far as, I think too many people put it on I think, I'm trying to structure this so I know what the heck I'm going to say. And I just, it can't be a one-time thing. Like, if it's something where you're trying to practice, it needs to be a consistency across all of your training. Like, it can't just be like, because I feel like crap today, I'm going to practice the workout because I really don't like wall balls. That's going back to the idea of, not pushing it when you need to push it. And if you constantly come in with that idea that it just depends on what the workout is and how I feel, whether I'm going to quote unquote practice or just be okay with, mediocre performance. And that's why it has to be kind of this wider picture, because and I'm gonna break some people's hearts right now.
No.
Yes, your trainers know when you are faking.
Oh yeah.
No matter what kind of pain face you put on or what kind of fake cry that you got going on in your life, we know what that looks like when you are just being blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've seen it all before, and especially if you've been in the coaching, like our combined coaching is like what, 100 years of combined coaching?
I have 20 years.
60 years? 25? Oh, so we got 26 years of combined coaching here.
Yep.
No, but I'm just saying, we've coached enough people to see. We've pushed ourselves. That's the thing. Is like, we've pushed ourselves. We've also not pushed ourselves, and we understand what that pain face looks like. Like, there's certain signs that most trainers can see. That
Don't tell them what it is.
That I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm just going to say that your good faking day is not as good as you think.
That's true.
Even when you're at your best.
That's very true.
But that's the same thing, like, in life. I always want to bring it back to, like, real life. We're not just talking about what happens in these four walls, like, in the CrossFit gym. But also, like, in life, people can tell when you're not all in. Like, people can tell when you're, like, settling.
Yeah.
You think, like, your excuses sound really great, and excuses to me, I'm not using it like a dirty word, like, oh, you're such a baby, and excuses. Like, literally, everybody that you know has excuses. They're just reasons. They're just life. Like, life happens to all of us. And the difference between somebody who makes it and somebody who doesn't are the ones who don't let their excuses win. They don't use their reasons. Like, they're really great reasons. Everybody has great reasons why they can't do something. So instead of looking at that and being like, man, you know what, that person's successful and they're, they don't have any, I would do that too if I didn't have that. So the rest of the people that live in that, like, complacency, that settle form, they sit around and just talk about, like, who has the better reasons why they can't do something. Like, oh, your kids did that? Well, guess what my kids did? Oh my gosh, yeah, they were throwing things around all day long. They were up all night. I haven't slept in 7 years. So they sit around and, like, try to one-up each other on why they can't do something.
Misery loves company.
Right. Instead of just taking all that, like, how much effort and energy did it take you to come up with the reason on why you can't do something? Why don't you flip it around and come up with a reason why you can, and then use all that creative energy that you have in your beautiful body and do something amazing instead?
Yeah. It's kind of like our running joke, like the weather. this guy comes in. You remember, what was that, Monday? You were like, oh man, the weather today is just like, oh God. And I looked at him and I go, chasing excellence.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, I'll just shut up now.
Yep.
So what's the story behind that?
Well, quickly.
Quickly.
So basically, Ben Bergeron wrote a book called Chasing Excellence, and in the book, he talks about how when he trains two of the fittest people on earth, and when he trains them, he always tells them and makes sure that they know that no excuses are allowed, whether it's, it could be downpouring, it could be snowing, it could be hot, they could have only gotten 4 hours of sleep the night before. Anything, just you come in and you put in the work. You give your best at that point in time. It's not necessarily what has happened to you that should be a factor. It's just you coming in and giving it your best. And if your best is technically your 50% overall, then that's your best for that day. But
it's a wide angle picture of your training. Like, there is a common theme with that. Yeah. And if your common theme is complacency because you don't want to put in the work, then that is what you're going to get. I mean, that is your executable. That's what's going to happen to you. And so that is being complacent in where you are and not changing. For things to change, you must change, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to put forth that effort to not live in that kind of idea that you've self-created to be this person of mediocre. And that is one of the things that I never want to be said. Like, here lies Jeremy Tokarski. He was a mediocre kind of dude. Like, nobody wants that for their lives.
That's the thing that makes me so crazy is that.
And so, hold that thought, because I'm actually making sense right now. So this is a first.
This is the first time.
Ever. And
7 weeks.
21 minutes in. So we're actually going over a little bit. But the thing is like, Ben Bergeron brings up a pretty good idea, or a thought process is every day that you walk into the gym is nothing but 100%. Whether that 100% is 50%, you don't have the mindset of quit. You don't have the mindset of I'm giving up today. You don't have the mindset of, I really would have, but, blah, blah, blah. It's always, you leave that stuff outside of the gym and you come in the gym and this is where you do work. And so many times we let a lot of that kind of filter into our gym life. There's often times that I've even said it to our clients where it's like, listen, leave whatever's out there. You're here now. You're putting in the work. Why did you show up today? And so if your reason to showing up to the gym is just because you had a bad weekend and you ate crap and you drank beer and whatever, then go on a run. There's no reason to train. But if you want to put in the work and you want to make yourself better, then come in to have that thought process. There's so many times that people have just walked in and they're like, I'm just here for the workout. And, you were just here for the workout, and that's why we're kind of having this conversation. It's just, you were just here for the workout because whatever. Maybe it's because I know why you were working out. It's just so you can eat carbs.
It's true.
That's really all it is.
Back to the carbs.
But I mean, that's the thing is like, how many people just show up just so they can eat carbs? And maybe there's something we're missing is because that is what the mainstream media and the mainstream gyms and all those places out there, they thrive on. They thrive on the idea that you're just going to show up when you feel necessary, when you feel completely guilty about your food choices.
Right.
And so they've preyed off that. And I'm saying, if there's gym owners out there, flip the script. Train to train people, not to train their excuses. And that's all they're doing is they want to come in and they want to have this
culture. They
want to have a place where they can be complacent and everybody else can be mad at working out with them because that's what we've deemed as an okay thing. And it's not okay for you to sit there and have the potential that we do because, I mean, God put us on this earth for a reason to be the best selves or to be the greatest growing. We need to grow past our own capabilities, and there's a specific design and purpose for all of us. we weren't sent here. We were not born. We were not created. I mean, look at the possibility of being born. I mean,
It's like 1 in a trillion.
400 trillion.
400 trillion to be born.
Gary V.
Trillion. It's a Crillon,
That's
isn't
a
it?
Shout out to
Trillion?
Gary V right there.
Yeah.
A Crillon?
It's
No.
It's like
The
a.
One in 400 trillion.
104. Yeah, 1 in
Chance
400
of you
trillion
being here.
of being here right now. And we're concerned about how many calories we can burn because we had too much pizza on Saturday. Rather than, I want to train to be my absolute best, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And if I don't get that, then what's the point?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like,
Right.
I mean, why are we doing this podcast? Why? Because we're freaking, our voices are sexy and we're great on camera.
Yeah.
Is that why we're doing it? No, we're doing it because
Oh, I gotta go then.
we're fulfilling a need that more people need to hear, kind of like that. They need to know that it's not okay just to be complacent, and we weren't put here for being mediocre. We put here to be great, and every opportunity that we get, we should exploit.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like that sermon that we heard. It's like, I don't go to church. I get to go to church.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's how we need to say that about the gym. It's like, I don't have to go to the gym. Nobody has to be here to train. You get here. You get to go train.
Yeah.
You get to be here. I mean, we trained a woman in a wheelchair. I mean, you know, she came and it was snowing outside, you know, and she got her butt here to
Yeah.
train because she got to be here, not because she had to be here.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna
Sorry.
say. Like,
We're going way over.
Oh,
I know we're just way over. So what I was gonna say though to that was, like, nobody. I don't care who you are. If you can hear my voice and you are a human being, like, you did not wake up today and say, you know what, I'm gonna be average. You know what? I just want to be average. Seriously, there is nobody. Like, if you say that, you're lying, because that is, nobody sets a goal to be average or be mediocre. Then why are so many people? That's what I was saying. Like, why do so many people then don't push past that comfort zone to get to greatness? And so I just think that greatness doesn't tolerate any kind of excuses. There's just no room for it. And so,
Closing
closing
comment.
comment.
That was your closing comment.
Play your life to win, not to tie.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Don't let my eyes get used to your crappy form. No, yeah, so, yeah, come in. I mean, I guess, you know, play life hard every day. And I think, you know, show up because you get to, not because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, we're going to wrap this one up. 7 minutes over.
We're so great.
Got a little slow start there with Vince DJing.
Here
but
we go.
all right, guys, we will see you later. Make sure you guys give us some reviews, some shout outs on the social media world.
do.
Share if you guys think that we have some good stuff to people would be interested in. I don't know who, but look out for some interesting things coming online. Do we have a date yet for that?
No, don't tell
We don't
everybody
have
our
a date.
secrets. We have to listen next week.
Secrets. Are we going to release it next week?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. Who knows?
Stay tuned.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.